Hello everyone, my name is Michael, I'm 31 years old and I live in Denmark. The last 27 years of my life I've been fascinated about the Titanic, and it starts early on, since I was 5 years old. I made a video a couple of days ago where I was standing on an edge and looking to the distance and imagine myself to see the Olympic class sailing. And I posted that on Facebook and it got some few likes, so it was an inspiration enough for me that I will show you my personal collection here of the Titanic, the most valuable things in my collection. To start off, what you're going to see is 5 magazines, 2 books and 1 newspaper. And I'm going to tell a story how I got in possession of these, so please bear with me here. I'm trying to make it as short as possible. To the beginning, with those 5 magazines, they are called Family Journal and are very rare here in Denmark, especially those copies I have right here. The story is that an antique shop contacted me and said they just require 7 boxes after they have emptied a house where an old gentleman passed away. And that gentleman had got his house from his parents when he was young. They died, and so he overtook it. And that family is known for not throwing anything away. And so when he passed away, they collect all his stuff and they called me and said, "We found 7 boxes of these family journals. Will you take a look at them?" I said, "Yeah, I will come in a short minute." So I arrived to the shop. There were 7 boxes on the floor, and they said to me, "Well, it'll take some time for you to go everything through. So if you want, you can put them into your car and then you can take it home and review them." I said, "Yeah, I will." So what I mainly focused on here were anything with the White Star Line or anything that mentioned the Olympic class. Unfortunately, I didn't find much. I just found 5 issues with the Titanic disaster, and that's basically it. The oldest family journal I found in those 7 boxes were from 1899, and the newest edition were from 1935. So I have a great period to cover. So the first one here is from 2nd of May 1912, and these magazines here comes out weekly. And now I'll open this one up gently, and this have my favorite photo or drawing. Here we see the Titanic strikes the iceberg, and as you can see underneath the picture, there are some few lines. They didn't know a lot about what happened because the White Star Line office in Copenhagen didn't want to talk to the press of what happened on North Atlantic, so they have small information given out. And the second is from May 9th, 1912, and this have a little bit more pictures in it and a little bit more text. Show you here. So what you can see is, the lifeboat launched and women and the men says goodbye, and underneath here you see Carpathia. So yeah, more informations were giving out the week after these first one here. So that's good. When I got these 5 here, I returned back to the antique shop and I said, "How much do you want for them?" And they say, "You keep them. We know you interest for that stuff, so you keep them. We don't know what they are worth." And I took contact to Family Journal immediately when I got home again to hear how many issues were there covered about the Titanic disaster. And the woman on the phone stopped me pretty fast and said, "Well, we don't know." I said, "Okay, why?" On the Second World War, their archives were bombed by German forces. So they don't have these issues. So since I think 1942 or 43, around that period, they don't have these issues anymore. And then suddenly I was called back a couple of hours later, and it was again from Family Journal. They really want to purchase these from me, and we couldn't agree with the price, so I said to them, "No, I'm going to keep these." I tried to hit these 5 journals up here on Facebook before in Denmark to try to see if someone had one of these copies, and no one has them. So I'm pretty honored to have these in my collection. So the third one I have is from 16th of May 1912 with a little devil boy on the front page. This one here has an article about the telegraph on board the Titanic and how it all worked. So you can see it's a map. So it was just a short story how the Titanic's communication was working and how they broadcast the signals. So the fourth I'm holding here is with the Danish royal family back in 1912. Pretty fun. And when I open it up, this is a familiar drawing you all know, have seen at least once. Here you see the husbands say goodbye to the women as they get launched to the lifeboats. As you can see, there are more text underneath. And the last one I have here is from 18th of July, over a month, so where they not have covered anything. This one is in the worst condition because it's actually ripped apart, unfortunately. But the most important thing here is the last page, which is theories about how ships can survive. As you can see here, something looks like Titanic, but right here what you have here is a ticket to the Titanic. So that was the 5 magazines I have here. The next thing I have here is the newspaper, which is from a week after the Titanic sunk. And what you see here is the White Star Line's office in Copenhagen. As you can see, people is standing outside in queue to hear what's happened and who did survive and who did not survive. And this one here is in very, very bad condition. So that's the reason why I'm not opening it up. And then we get to a book which comes from a college student. Her grandmother got it from a friend in America, and the friend in America got this in 1912. This book here is in very, very rough condition. And just to show you how poor condition it is, this is the back side of it. And yeah, that is in the worst condition. And this is the memorial edition, Sinking of the Titanic, thrilling stories told by survivors. But what is very impressive with this is if I take the front cover off here, it actually have something written with a pencil on it. So I can't see what stands up here, but I can see the person got it December 20th, 1912. And I know this book here came out the same year as the Titanic sank, so it's pretty cool to have this in the collection. So, and as you can see, they have tried to repair it multiple times with tapes. So yeah, not in the best condition. So I take good care of this. The last one here is kind of an adventure book, and this is the first kids book we get in Denmark in 1920. Starting the first couple of pages by telling the Titanic story, and then suddenly there are 2 kids that survive in a lifeboat and travel to America in that lifeboat and meet some Indians and stuff like that. So it's kind of an adventure story, but it includes all the details about the sinking of the Titanic. So yeah, and if I open it up here, you can see that it is pretty. It had the markers of old papers, kind of yellow. So yeah, so that was my complete collection of the most valuable things I have in my Titanic collection. Which of these things you saw here in this video were your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below, but also let me know what the most valuable thing you have in your Titanic collection. So perhaps I'll see you next time. Until then,